Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Kindness Rising. Yesterday's loud, joyful, and slightly unhinged celebration of weird traditions around the world was a little wild. Yeah, but today we're going to slow it down just a little bit because some traditions don't announce themselves. They don't sparkle. They don't ask for attention. They just stay.
This is Kindness Rising.
Good morning, Daniel Allison. Good morning, mornings in the lab, Keith Billis, and the whole crew. I am so glad you are here for us on Christmas Eve morning. Christmas Eve is a special time at our house, in our family, for sure. And when we think about tradition, we usually think about those big things. But really, the meals, the gatherings, the decorations, those photos that we try to recreate every year, those are the traditions that shape us. Yes, they are. But the ones that really, really shape us are sometimes the quiet ones. Daniel Allison, yes, welcome in from Spartansburg, South Carolina. Are you going live on your show this morning? Mike Sullivan, Future Life Coach, Christmas Eve day. It is indeed. Thank you for coming to visit us every day from out there on the West Coast. I am glad that you are all here. This is quite a crew. Absolutely. The power crew, Mike Sullivan, Dan Allison, Keith over there at Mornings in the Lab, and all the rest of you, get involved in the chat. Come on and join us as we talk about tradition. Oh, Roseanne Roof, there she is. Happy Christmas Eve, Mom. I am so glad you are joining me here, even if you can't be here in person. Isn't it amazing that we get to spend a half an hour together today, and we'll be talking again later. I love you. I hope you've got your little Christmas Eve stuff going on there, Mom. I know you're keeping traditions going just like we're keeping traditions going here. Mom, I bought the clam sauce. I made the clam sauce. I didn't buy it. I made clam sauce. And guess what, Mom? Said we weren't going to do it, but I did it anyway. I was in the store. I was at the fish counter. I bought a handful of smelts and a handful of calamari, and we'll make them and we'll keep those traditions, even though we'll be missing you while we do it. So I couldn't help myself. That's okay. I love it. I love the seven fish tradition, the fish tradition that we do at Christmas Eve, regardless of who's there, regardless of the circumstances of the year. We keep some of those quiet, same traditions going, even if they're just a little bit modified for sure. And those, it got me thinking. Actually, it didn't get me thinking. What got me thinking was the other night, my 20-year-old said, let's watch the Charlie Brown Christmas special. And I was like, oh my God, okay, absolutely. Well, of course, we find it's on Apple TV because they own Peanuts now. We used to, wait for it. Oh, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, gotta see it. It's coming on. Now we can watch it at our leisure, but we have to be intentional about it. We have to decide we're going to sit down together and we're going to watch it at this time. The networks aren't telling us what time to gather anymore. We have to find our ways to gather. That's not the point. Well, it is the point, kind of. But what of the other points? The other thing is, those are the things, those quiet traditions, those little things, the same show on the same night, the same song, that same place on the couch where you sit and watch your children enjoy the mornings of Christmas, the feeling of knowing what comes next. As a kid, we didn't really call that tradition. We just called it normal. It was what was normal, right? It was normal for us, or maybe normal was something different. Maybe normal was not quite so steady. But whatever it was, it became our new normal, and that's when we know we're experiencing something powerful, whatever it is, the consistency, the predictability, the connection. That's where memories last. Whatever those memories are, they last, not because they were exciting, but because they were steady. So welcome to Kindness Rising. We are Steady Eddie right here, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, every weekday morning, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I will be here tomorrow. Had to have the discussion with my wife, who was quite taken aback that I'm going to do that, but I am doing it. I will be here. It'll probably be a different type of show on Christmas morning, but we'll see. I am going to be here. So if you're up and at 'em, you're waiting for your day to get started, you want to get Christmas Day started with a little hope, humanity, and heart, you can join me here tomorrow for sure. But we're certainly not done today. We are just getting started. But I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. I would love to hear Mary Roma. Good morning. Good morning, Aunt Mary. Merry Christmas Eve. Absolutely. I watched the Mr. Magoo old school Scrooge. Oh my gosh. Sullivan, I remember that. Fish orange wide eyes. I got to know about that. What's fish orange wide eyes? Tell me more. I love this kind of stuff. But the Mr. Magoo Scrooge. Oh, wow. All right. Where do you watch it? Do you have it on DVD? Is it streaming somewhere? I remember that one from when I was a kid. Oh, Magoo. Oh, Marley. You've done it again. Yeah. Tell me more, Mike Sullivan, for sure. Mr. Magoo Prime. It's on Prime. Okay. Prime, and you own it. But yeah, I'm gonna look that one up. That's definitely gonna be one I'm gonna watch. I haven't seen it. That used to be on all the time when I was a kid. Does anybody else remember that one? What other ones? I mean, are there obscure? That's medium obscure. Are there super obscure ones that you're into? He's blind, fish eyes. Got it. Got it. Yes. Mr. Magoo is blind. Oh my gosh. Oh Magoo, you've done it again. Voiced by Jim Backus, right? Same Thurston Howell from Gilligan's Island. We talked about Gilligan's Island on one of our throwbacks. I'm pretty sure that was Jim Backus who voiced Magoo. Vexy 419, welcome in. Hello 419. That's one away from 420. What's going on, Vexy? Mike Sullivan, future life coach. Yep, that is true. I got it right, Jim Backus. Why did these things, like my wife says, why do you know that Jim Backus was the voice of Mr. Magoo, but you don't know where you put your wallet? That's pretty much my life. It is true. But I was talking about that Charlie Brown Christmas special. Anybody out there remember the Charlie Brown Christmas special? Of course you do. Of course you do. Everybody remembers the tree with the little red bulb drooping on it, right? It's so, we watched it tonight. It was awesome. It was so great. All the memories. It holds up remarkably well. It's a little weird because they're doing a play and then all of a sudden Linus is stepping forth and quoting the Bible, and it's a little bit choppy, but it's so perfect. It's so perfect for the time. No fast cuts. It's not a big spectacle and certainly not a perfect tree. Simple animation and a kid asking an honest question. Is there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about? And that's why it endures. Daniel Allison, the blanket, Linus's blanket. The all of a sudden is a shepherd. That was awesome. Yeah, absolutely. I love Linus's blanket. Yep. Anyway, the point of this is that Charlie Brown's Christmas special, it wasn't trying to sell us anything. It wasn't trying to impress us. It was just trying to deliver a message. For many of us watching wasn't even a choice. It just happened. But years later, the memory isn't really about the plot. It's about who was in the room and what the house felt like. The music definitely, I mean, that's for me something I connect with, obviously, always is the music in that show. Not just the Charlie Brown theme that everybody knows, or even winter time is here. Yes, I'm trying to sing like a Peanuts character on a live stream, but Vince Guaraldi's jazz piano behind all of it, if you really, really listen to it, is actually quite stunning music and really just beautiful and interesting, evoking of a feeling and a time without having to say it. Connecting. It's pretty powerful stuff. Absolutely. Mm. And we used to just sit around and watch it, right? It was just that, and it was just the same. And things are about the same this year too.
Love that we watch this every year, and it still works.
You humans find comfort in repetition. I find it predictable. Yes.
Wonderfully, magically predictable.
And that is the point. Wonderfully, magically predictable. Gives us a little bit of comfort and a little bit of safety here as we approach the holidays, as we approach changes in the world. And it's nice to know you have those anchors of things that connect you. So, and it's what I do every day here. Yes, an avid tennis fan. You are absolutely right. Mike Sullivan, Charles Schultz loved tennis and ice hockey. Did you know that? He was into hockey. I'm into hockey. The classic Snoopy and Woodstock hockey matches on the Bird Bath, Frozen Bird Bath. You might remember those for sure. And Peanuts has a formal relationship with U.S. amateur hockey. If you go out and you look at the development leagues, the leagues that end up with kids who end up in college and in the Olympics and the juniors and eventually in the NHL, I guarantee many of them wore or wear shirts with Snoopy on them for USA Hockey. Check it out. For sure, there is a partnership there. I don't even know what it is formally, but it's clearly part of the USA Hockey brand and their affiliation with Peanuts, if you didn't know that. Yep. All right. Gonna have another sip of coffee and enjoy the morning. How's everybody else doing out there? Are you getting ready? What are your Christmas Eve traditions? You got any out there? We are a big Christmas Eve family. We'll be getting together with those of us who can gather together, and those of us who can't, we will connect digitally and connect spiritually, because that's what we do. All right. We kind of talked about this already, but I guess we can just keep going with the idea of Christmas specials that we watched as kids that we always waited for. And back then we didn't just decide to watch them, right? They arrived. We looked them up on the TV guide. Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, Charlie Brown Christmas. We were on the couch at 7:58 waiting for Charlie Brown. Are you for or against Festivus? You missed yesterday's Festivus episode. Jepper 1969. I am pro Festivus. I love the idea. Go back and check out yesterday's live stream if you want to see my Festivus celebration. I am a huge Seinfeld fan. Jepper 1969. How about you? Welcome everybody who is here. I got another question for you. Let's change it up. Little Drummer Boy. Anybody think about that? Anybody ever think about what would happen if the Little Drummer Boy happened today? The baby is finally asleep. Oh, it's a miracle. The room is quiet. The parents are exhausted. Everything is peaceful. And then boom, 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 boom. I brought my drum for him. Let this kid in. Right? Like, whoa. Today would be like, get out of here. Does anybody know this guy? Kid's like, yeah, here we go, man. Let's drum. Yeah. So stupid. Oh, the kid's like, yeah, I brought the drum. I brought the drum. Yeah, let's go. And that is what happens. That was what could happen in 2025. And let's see if I can grab this.
6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7.
Nope, not today.
And there it is, Nativity 2025. Joseph is having nothing to do with the Little Drummer Boy. Silly. I was just thinking about that. All right. Rankin and Bass. Which one, Jepper? You refuse to subscribe to Apple to watch Christmas Charlie Brown. Yeah, I know. My kids got a subscription to Apple and we watched it. The Rankin and Bass one. Which one? I'm Mr. Heat Miser. It's Year Without a Santa Claus, right? Frosty the Snowman to the old Frosty the Snowman cartoon. Absolutely. David Bowie and Bing Crosby singing together. Love that. Little Santa Claus is coming to town. Year Without a Santa Claus. What other ones? No one's mentioned Rudolph, the Little Drummer Boy. How about this one? Mom, I don't know if you're still out there. Dominic the Donkey? Hee-haw, hee-haw. Dominic the Donkey. Hee-haw, hee-haw. Ridiculous. Yeah. Those are certainly the classics that we all remember. The Rankin and Bass specials absolutely are huge. All over. Yeah. Just thinking Rudolph, you got your Land of Misfit Toys and Yukon Cornelius, right? I'm just saying things now. Now I'm just saying stuff from shows. That apparently is what I consider to be entertaining and interesting. But no, really, remember we used to have to wait for those shows to actually come on and have our TV guide. And on Tuesday, this. And then I think, what was it, TNT or TBS had the 10 Days of Christmas or 12 Days of Christmas, right? And you're like, oh my God, every night there's a special scheduled and you'd have it. I know I did. You say you have it highlighted. either from the newspaper. We used to look at the TV guide in the newspaper every day, or in the actual TV guide. Here it comes. Yay. We certainly didn't have Alexa to remind us or any of those other things. When I was a kid, we didn't have Alexa to remind us when to watch Charlie Brown. Scrooge, you're talking about the Bill Murray, Mike Sullivan is mentioning Scrooge, Christmas Carol, the 80s version. Put a little love in your heart. Good song. It's Annie Lennox. I'm blanking out on that one. Annie Lennox? Oh, all right, Mike. Someone had to go there. Thank you, Sully. I've seen it. Have others. It's probably the most insane hour of time. I don't even know how long it is. It feels like an eternity. Watching the Star Wars Christmas special from 1978, perhaps an example of the worst, my opinion, the worst branding. They just rushed it really quick. Star Wars was a huge phenomenon. And they're like, all right, we got to get a Christmas special together. And next thing you know, we've got Chewbacca's family crying and Art Carney and B. Arthur, like just weird stuff, and like these weird dances in the middle. I think George Lucas and maybe Carrie Fisher were spending a little too much time partying during that time. I don't know, but wow. If you ever have a chance to see the 1978 Star Wars special, it's worth it just as a phenomenon, but be ready to be like, what did I get myself into here, for sure. Sully, how do you feel about it? That's my opinion. I guess I'm sharing my opinion right here. We had the discussion yesterday about which is the best Scrooge Christmas Carol remake, and and also the Grinch. We talked about the Grinch and the fact that there are kids today who don't know. The Grinch to them will always be Jim Carrey, and then this new one, the new one that came out in 2018 or 2019. They might not really understand the 1958, 62, whatever it was, version with Boris Karloff, the original Grinch show or the book for sure. But we were also talking about Christmas Carol, and which was the best of those remakes. Anybody have an opinion? I do have an opinion of which is the best and which is my favorite. So I'm just curious what you have. All right. Well, I'll tell you. Since nobody's jumping in on that one, I think the best is the original, the black and white Alistair, whatever. I don't remember the actors' names, but I mean, just the original. I just think back then they told stories differently, movies were different, and the acting and the writing and the story is what held up. My favorite, which is different than the best, is Muppets Christmas Carol. Because it reminds me of watching it with my kids, of course. Marley and Marley. Yeah, the George C. Scott version. Is that who it was? George C. Scott? Yeah. So, the black and white version. I should know better, but I don't. So that's I think the great one for sure. What I consider to be, I guess, the original, the black and white one. All right. Well, so we talked today. We're talking about a lot about Christmas specials, which I guess for me is the quiet that quiet time. But the idea that, again, that memories don't have to be made in big moments; they happen through those quiet steady, consistent, predictable experiences too. And that's what Christmas Eve is. Always move into some of those predictable. Pay attention. You might not even realize that I'm going to be paying more attention today of the little patterns and the things that are like, oh yeah, I get it. Yeah. So just a different level of consciousness and awareness. I'm excited that it's Christmas season. There's always a little bit of insanity that comes with it too, but certainly looking forward to spending time together with my family. And yeah, so before we get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, they're going to be over there as always, getting us started with a little bit of fun, a little bit of chaos, a little bit of something to not hit the snooze button, to get up and get going. Before we do that, though, I want to give you your takeaway. These are 3 things worth carrying with you today. Remember this: the traditions that last are often the simplest ones. Pay attention to those simple little things like, oh yeah, where do you put the knife even? I mean, like whatever. Consistency creates safety, especially for kids. That's huge. I know there are things that my kids latch onto. That's huge, but consistency does create safety, and safety always creates room for vulnerability and connection and fun. And so remember that. Being consistent about your traditions, keep them simple, keeps them safe. And remember this: memories are not really about what happened, right? They're not. They're about how we felt. What happens is just the circumstances. The memory is about the feeling. The memory is about the connection. And so that's what we'll go out and do today. We'll make more memories. We'll make more connections on this Christmas Eve, and remember those small things. So this week we're talking about tradition, and today's reminder is gentle but important. Not every tradition needs to evolve. Not everyone needs to be explained, and some just need to be remembered. I appreciate everyone who came out today. I will be back tomorrow, Christmas Eve. Get some good sleep. Don't forget to leave your cookies out or whatever your tradition is. But most of all, connect with your family. And as always, stay uncommon and stay kind. What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get-after-it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day.